physical activity a day and eating well can help get your child healthy. Get ideas. Get involved. Get going at letsmove.gov. That's letsmove.gov.
What's up, CT? Do you believe in ghosts? We're over here at Gillette Castle in East Haddam. And I gotta tell you, I got the greatest guy in the world to give us the tour of this Gillette Castle. And my guy here is my friend, you met him before previously, is Chuck Oakes. Chuck? Come on over, Chuck. How are you? Good to see you, Chuck.
Good to see you.
Good. You know, it's a beautiful day here.
Sure is.
At Gillette Castle. And I never even knew there was a Gillette Castle in Connecticut.
Oh, it's a fabulous place.
Oh, my goodness. This is great. So you're going to tell us a little more about this place, Chuck? Because, you know, you seem to know my guy, Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. Basically, I had the pleasure of being the first president of their auxiliary group here, the Friends of Gillette Castle State Parks, about 10 years ago. And a lot of the state parks in Connecticut have auxiliary or supportive groups, volunteer groups, that help basically run the park and maintain the park. And as I said, our group started about 10 years ago, the Friends of Gillette Castle State Park, and it was a wonderful experience for me.
Wow,
we made a difference here, and I'm anxious to give you sort of the highlights of the park today.
Oh, that'll be perfect, Chuck. And then, you know, we got to invite everyone up here because this is so beautiful, and it's just coming up here, the scenic route. I guess I took the scenic route because the back roads, I saw cows and horses, and, you know, I didn't see no tigers and bears. Oh, my. But
and no ghosts yet.
And no ghosts yet. But if you believe in ghosts, you're going to see one now.
Well,
all right?
We'll
we hope anyway.
If the spirit moves us.
If the spirit moves us. All right, welcome to Gillette Castle. And Chuck, let's take it away.
Let's go. There are some significant factors of the Gillette Castle State Park which I think are quite unique and quite frankly unusual and worth noting. First of all, behind me you'll see a gargoyle in the shape of a dragon toward the roof. And again, this is reminiscent of a medieval castle, which was the goal of Gillette when he built the place to replicate an old medieval type castle, you know, rough and rustic. Okay, so throughout the castle, a couple things. You'll notice the use of the stonework and cedar and the natural elements. He even has an an indoor atrium area complete with waterfall. So we'll try to capture that in our visit today. Next touch point is a rock wall. I want to explain to you that, again, in his attempt to replicate a castle, a medieval castle, he had the contractors try to, when they were building the wall, to make it rough and rustic. Well, if you'll see in a minute, the wall here behind me, unfortunately they've got scaffolding because they're doing some more maintenance on it. But the point is, toward the bottom end, when they were building the wall, it was smooth. It looked like the suburbs. And then he said, no, this isn't the suburbs. Kick it up a notch, make it more rough. Make it rougher. Okay, make it. So they kicked it up, and you'll see in the wall here about six feet of a little bit more texture, a little bit more roughness. And then toward the end, toward the top, when they were finishing the wall, it was the roughest possible. So it's like a sampler wall, and I'll show it to you now. Okay, if you notice in this shot here, toward the bottom end of the wall, with a nice stone planter box as a foundation here on the base here. But the first, again, 7 feet or 8 feet was very, very subtle and very conservative in terms of the roughness. But as it progressed, as Gillette directed them to make it rougher, it got more, obviously, more, well, rustic. Thank you. Rustic and rough toward the end. Also notice the awning, the stone awning above the window there. It's a unique feature. And finally, toward the top of the wall, that section there, you see the roughest part of the wall. By the way, toward the wall in the back of the castle, he built in steps so he could water the plants and actually climb the wall next to the castle. That was for his benefit, so he can, you know, climb the wall if he needed to, but not necessarily in this section because there was no plants to water. Okay. Also, a special note Notice the stone planters there throughout the castle exterior. This is a very unique design, and when his wife passed away unexpectedly, he went into seclusion in the Carolinas for several years and did not do any acting, and he built rustic furniture and planter boxes and things like that, many of which are still at the castle. As you can see here, basically the intricacy of the rock work here and the attention to detail. Again, you can see the gargoyle, the dragon toward the end. And as I mentioned, while this is a unique feature of the castle, it was also a problem because as time, over 100 years old, the mortar started to deteriorate. And about 6 years ago, the castle, as you may know, was renovated, and they had the roof was leaking big time, and a lot of the mortar was turning to just to sand, and so they had to do a major $5 million renovation. I guess it was, as I said, about 5 years ago. So they're still doing some renovation touch-up work right now, some recent work. But anyway, this is a wonderful, again, example of rock work in the spirit of Gillette.
What's up, CT? Welcome to Gillette Castle.
Wow, what do you think so far? Have you seen any ghosts yet? Oh, we still got a lot of places to see here at Gillette Park. But one moment, I got this greatest girl that knows all about this park. And, well, she's like Chuck. They're both masters, and we got the best in CT. Her name is Dawn. So let's come on, Dawn, come on over. And Dawn is here. She's one of the best. Come just a little closer, Dawn. I won't bite. and this is what we really got to know is Gillette Castle and what's up CT, because I never even knew there. So there was a Gillette Castle. So how long have you been here?
I've been here for 4 years.
Wow, great, great. I guess you love your job?
I do.
And have you seen any ghosts?
Not yet.
Not yet? Oh my goodness. And well, she's going to give us a tour as well as Chuck Oakes, my man with the master plan. I got to tell you, he's my brother from another mother, but that's okay. Chuck, come on over, Chuck.
Hello, hello.
Hello. And Chuck, just a little more, just a little more room there. And Chuck, what do you think? I mean, I'm loving it, and you're doing just a fantastic job. And people, this is a must see. This is a really must see. What do you know, Chuck? I mean, you're going to give us some more?
Yeah. Let me tell you briefly. It's a real pleasure to be back here after several years, and I want to tell you about the ghost. This is the Halloween season. Frankly, there's no. The castle isn't complete without its resident ghost. So I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but when I was here, I heard stories from the secretary that when she was here in the morning, she'd smell eggs and bacon cooking in the kitchen. And then, maybe you've heard that. And also, she said she felt a breeze when the spirit walked by.
Oh.
And rumor has it that at Halloween, around the Halloween period, wow, that he was a trickster as well,
Oh, wow.
And Dawn's going to show us the bar and so forth, and you'll see that.
Awesome.
But basically, rumor has it that around the Halloween season, he would change the security locks the code to the security. So when people would come in, they couldn't get in.
Wow.
So yeah. So anyway.
Are you scared now, Dawn?
So let's keep vigilant because we may be fortunate enough to feel his breeze as you walk by.
All right. So if you see a ghost, shh. Let's do this.
We have a door that's very unique to the property, and Dawn, tell us about it.
Well, there are 47 of these doors in the house, and the unique part is that no two look alike. This one is really interesting. I'll show you how it works. This is the one that we call the owl door. This is the thickest door in the house. It's this pocket door. Now take a look up here. See two eyes? Now watch this part when I move the handle.
Ah, that's great.
Oh, wow.
So you see the owl? There you go. Neat. All right, very good. And this slides back.
Yep.
Obviously, okay. All right. Another really unique feature of the castle is his sort of secret nuances. He's got secret passages, which you're going to see in a minute, and a series of mirrors. So you'll see in a minute, he's got a bar, a very unique handmade bar situation that is seen from he can see from his bedroom through a series of mirrors to see if people are checking out his liquor or the spirits there. So Dawn's going to tell us about the bar in greater detail. Take a look.
Now, Gillette was a trickster, and he liked to play jokes on his guests with the bar. Now, I'll let you in on the secret on how it works. Now, look at the bottom first. You see this little block of wood down here? Watch what happens when I move the countertop. It goes up and down. That's the first stage of the lock. Now, I'm going to close the door and close up the counter. Now, I can't open the bottom.
Wow.
Now look at the pin up here. That's the second part of the lock. Right here is the block of wood, and that's spring-loaded. So you take the pin out, the block snaps over into a slot in the wood over here. So as soon as the pin is gone, the entire bar locks. Now Gillette would invite his guests in, serve drinks, then close the bar up. Now when they weren't looking, he would take that pin out and tell them to help themselves and have a laugh as they're all trying to figure out how to get into a locked bar. They try every door, nothing works. They tell Gillette that the bar is stuck. Well, he would come back and tell them that he just got them drinks and he designed this bar himself. There's nothing wrong with it. While he was talking, he would have this metal file up his sleeve. That file slides into a slot on the side. Now look at the top. You can see the pin moving. That is pressing that block back out of the way. So Gillette just reaches around, opens the door, and tells them he has no idea what his guests are talking about. And he'll tell them, well, if there was a problem with the top, just try the reserves down here. And no one had any idea what happened.
From this vantage point, William Gillette could see the entryway directly beneath him here, the main entrance to the hall here, from the mirror directly across the room. It's such a pleasure to be at the castle here again. And the fine points of the artistry and the craftsmanship of that time period is just all over the place. For example, this is a Tiffany, an actual Tiffany lamp that was restored and brought down here from the tower during the recent restoration. So the actual Tiffany products are in the castle. So this is certainly a high-end castle. Certainly not the rustic ones of medieval castles, of that time period. But also I want to point out that a lot of the light fixtures are not only handmade, but they're wooden and they're very bold. They're very, very bold and rustic, and they have switches and whatnot, all designed with the flavor of the castle in mind. Especially if you realize that he loved railroads. We're going to see his Grand Central Railroad in a minute. But before we do, we're going to show you a secret passage, and we're going to show you his atrium, which was very common in the Victorian era.
Wow, that is so great. I got to tell you, this is fantastic. Dawn has done a great job, and Chuck here at Gillette Castle. Chuck, this is just wonderful, wonderful.
It's a great place. I'll tell you, so by now you know that Gillette is not only an accomplished playwright and an actor, But he's got a he's sort of a trickster, and he's creative. He likes trains, he likes woodworking and stonework. We've got more to come, so stay tuned.
Yes. I understand you need a little help with your mortgage. Want to avoid foreclosure. Candy? Well, you know, you're in luck. We're experts in this sort of thing. Mortgage, rigmarole, whatnot. Why don't we get a contract? Who wants a contract?
Here you go, Pete.
Thanks, Betty.
Write a toner.
If you're facing foreclosure, talk to the right people. Speak with HUD-approved housing counselors free of charge at 888-995-HOPE.
Okay, here we are in the study. And if you notice, he's got some unique features here, one of which is a secret passage we mentioned earlier. Come on in. Another unique feature to the castle is his love of trains and his creativity. So if you notice on his desk here, the chair is on rails. This did two things. First of all, it preserved the integrity of the wood floor. He didn't want the wood floors to be scratched. Secondly, he did enjoy the whole idea of the railroad influence. So this is on rails, as well as the dining room table is also on rails. But let me show you the secret passage. This secret passage behind me basically is a doorway to a passageway that enables him to escape his visitors he didn't want to see and be somewhat private and, again, in control of his visibility. So let me show you this doorway here. Unfortunately, it's not working right now in the sense that we can't open it and there's nothing behind it per se to see because there's a storage area. But that's one of these handmade doors, again, that leads up to a private, secluded passageway. We have Sarah here from the park that will tell us more of the details of the woodworking and the artistry and the artisans that made this castle possible. Sarah?
Welcome to Gillette Castle. Yes, the Portis Walker Company was actually the contractor of the home, but Mr. Gillette designed everything. And the Portis Walker Company were the contractor that hired the local carpenters. They were shipbuilders. This area is a big shipbuilding area in the 1800s. Southern white oak was the preferred wood of shipbuilders, and that's why it's on the first two floors. Frank Bangs was local from Deep River, and there were 5 of them, but Frank Bangs was the one that was involved in a lot of the carving of the furniture and also in the upstairs bureaus and things like that. So very, very talented master carpenters.
One last stop at the castle we want to point out here. This is the atrium. On the rear end of the castle here, we have an enclosed porch area, basically with a running water feature, waterfall and so forth and so on, and garden and so forth. It's an atrium. This type of design was very customary, very common in the turn of the last century. You'll find something similar in Mark Twain's house in Hartford. As we see the feature in here now, this space here, you'll notice that the stone planters are integrated into the design. Here's our last stop on our visit to Gillette Castle State Park in East Haddam. This is Grand Central Station. A couple of features here at the station. If you notice the cat on the top of the station here, William Gillette had 13 cats with him at any one point at the castle. You can certainly say that he kept the rodent population in check. But seriously, he had a miniature railroad here. The tracks were 17 inches apart, and he had a steam engine and he had an electric engine. And this was the station for his railroad. He had approximately 5 miles of railroad on the premises here. Oh, by the way, there are approximately 200 acres here. Now, contrary to a lot of rumors and stories in the past, the bridges and the trestles that you have seen in postcards in the past of Gillette Castle State Park and the castle here showed walkways by the Connecticut River. These were walkways only. He had a gazebo by the river. Very nice, but they were only for walkways. They were never for the railroad. The railroad itself went inland. Started here and then went in for approximately 5 miles. He had a series of, obviously, rails, tracks throughout the property here. Again, he had a steam engine and he had an electric engine. The the electric one was restored and is in the visitor center now. The steam engine is back within the state property, but in a warehouse now, and has not been fully restored yet. But again, when you come to the visitor center, you'll see the electric engine there. And there you have it, Gillette Castle State Park in East Haddam, Connecticut. There are plenty of things to see here. Stop by and make your own journey and make your own memories.
Ever since I was an infant, and for all I know before, I've had the idea that I'd like to drive a locomotive. People didn't tell me that I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, but I've often heard that I was born with a steam engine in my mouth. And at last, I've got one. I had to build one so to drive it. It's a long while since that occurred, but now I've got my wish at last. And I'd like to see if some of you wouldn't like to come and take a ride, or maybe. We'll have a little ride around the place. What do you say? All right, we'll do it. Good thing, yes. All right. Goodbye.
William Gillette lived to be 83. Today, the castle is a state park filled with exhibits reflecting his illustrious career and his unique personality. His dramatic style and technical innovations are still an important part of our American theatrical tradition.
Wow, Chuck, that was so fantastic. You know, I gotta tell you, Sarah and Dawn and yourself, I mean, you guys are just fantastic of knowing this Gillette Castle. It's an experience of a lifetime. And I gotta tell you, it's just, you gotta come and see this place here in Connecticut. I mean, the views, the tour guides. Chuck, I mean, isn't it fantastic?
It's really great. I'm glad to have this opportunity to be here again with you and show our visitors and our viewers. We didn't see any ghosts today. Oh, I didn't. But maybe some other time.
There you go. So maybe you can see the ghosts. So come on down to Gillette Castle and What's Up CT. I'm Charles Dukes Jr. from C. Dukes Entertainment. This is Chuck Oates, my brother from another mother. Come on over. We'll see you soon here at Gillette Castle and East Haddam. Thank you.
I hope you find a home. I hope you find a home. Hey, maybe you'll be picked next. Maybe you'll be picked next. We've been caged together too long. We've been caged together too long. How come nobody ever picks me? Maybe they're looking for somebody different. Pick me. Well, the shelter's closing up for another day. We didn't get picked. I know. Tomorrow. Guaranteed.
Hello.
I got your back from now until I'm gone, baby. Let's relax and play my new song, mommy. You got me high, it's time to do some. I ain't trying to do you wrong, I'm just trying to show you love. Cause you the party getting serious. Set up 1, 2, 1, 2. Can I ask a question? Who's that hot girl who don't give a get on the floor, girl. I got what you want. We gonna do it, baby. Come on, get your grind on it. I didn't have nothing. Come on, now I got something here. You can do it, homie. Come on, get your grind on it. Here, I got the hot music. Come on, plus I got magic here. You can on it. I got the hot music. At last I got magics. You can do it, baby. Get your grind on it. I didn't have nothing, but now I got something. You can do it, homie. Get your grind on it. I got the hot music. At last I got magics. You can do it, baby. Get your grind on it. I didn't have nothing, but now I got